Today's video project is a requested video project. Now, some tools I'll be using here are simply because I happen to have them. If a tool I'm using is merely a luxury tool and it's not required, you'll see this up in the corner of the screen. That means there are other tools that could get the job done just as easily. Got it? Good. My last couple of projects I've done has left me with this pile of scrap lumber. Let's see what I can find to help me out with today's shop project build. One of these longer boards should do nicely here. I'll run it through my planer a couple of times just to take off the ugly. If you don't have a thickness planer as I have here, a hand plane will do you, or just a sander in a pinch. Mark a length that I think will accommodate the number of drill bits I'll be organizing. It could be longer or shorter, no problem. A materials and cut list can be found at simplyeasydiy.com. As always, check the description. I'll link it from there. Take that over to the miter saw. I'll need 3 of those. Each of these boards has a rounded over edge. Came from the yard like that. The thickness plater took off some of it, and I'll take the rest of it off on my table saw. After that is done for all 3 pieces, I'll take one and cut it right in half. I'm just eyeballing this as I normally do. A line of glue along one side of those 2 pieces. Flip them over onto the base piece. Sandwich my 3rd board between those 2. I don't want this to be too snug. I want a little bit of play here. Just make sure I didn't make any sudden movements with those boards. While that is drying in the clamps, I'll take the center board over to my drill press. I believe this is a 5/16" drill bit I have here, just slightly larger than the shank of the bits I intend to store. I might have these spaced every inch or so. I'm not really sure. I do a lot of eyeballing in my shop because that just happens to be simple and easy. After that is done, I'll set that piece aside and turn my attention to the drill bit hole gauge. A 1/4" piece of scrap. That should do nicely. I'll simply use the actual bit to drill its hole in the gauge. Trim that down to size. Alright, back to my centerpiece. I'll mark a couple lines some random distance down from the top. Place the hole gauge there just for a moment to check the distance between the 2 lines. Then hammer a couple small nails. Place the hole gauge on top of the nail heads and tap both sides with a hammer. Just hard enough to make a corresponding mark on the back of the gauge. Then I'll just drill that out with a drill bit that is slightly larger than that mark. There we go. Move that aside, bring in my base piece that is still in the clamps. Trim the overhang on the table saw. From there, it's to my belt sander to smooth the edges. And take off those corners. Time to assemble. You can glue the vertical holder to the base piece if you like, or the base piece can be attached to a shelf and the actual bit holder along with the gauge can then be removed from it and taken to wherever your project is without having to go back and forth for different sized drill bits. I put Spade bits in mine, but any type of drill bit would work, obviously. A cut list and materials can be found at simplyeasydiy.com. Check the description. Until then.